back, everyone. I have a confession to make. I made this crown with the intention of making the ultimate autumn flower crown. Or, in this case, mushroom crown. But I didn't really use any of the very autumny stuff, like the pine cones and the acorns. And I would call this more of a spring than a fall. But I still have a lot of leftovers from my previous video. And I think with the addition of some more autumny leaves and yet another color of Icelandic moss, we can just yet make the ultimate autumn flower crown.
Let's jump right away into making some amanita mushrooms. Once you warmed your polymer clay, you make a ball from it and with your fingers you shape it into a dome. Now you should either let it rest for a bit or put it into the freezer so it can harden back up for the next step. To make the gills, you shape the ball of white clay into a disc and smoosh it in carefully with your fingers. So far, this is a similar process to how I made the brown mushrooms in my mushroom crown video. The gills are also the same. You mark the middle for the stem, then using the scalpel you just cut until you're happy with the result. The spots are the most difficult and tedious part. I started by making a thin roll of clay and broke bits off of it using a scalpel or a tool and made my best effort to smush it into the cap while also keeping it slightly raised from it. The good news here is the more uneven they are, the more organic it will look. The stems are just as before, a roll of clay thicker on one side, but the tricky part here are these roughly neck collars or rings. I tried to make them flat on my glass by ruffling up the lower edge of a thin clay ribbon. Then, using my scalpel, I carefully removed it from the glass, added it to my stem and cut it to size. With my tools, I even tried to make it flared on the bottom, but I had mixed results. I cooked the caps and the stems separately and glued them together afterwards. I had some of the brown mushrooms and some morels left over from my other project that I used for this crown too. So if you're interested in how to make those, the tutorial is in my mushroom crowns video.
So this is our haul for this crown. I have a couple of red and autumn colored leaves as well. There's some up here too. But these are so big that I think I will have to cut them into smaller pieces, but we'll see about that. And I also got some berries from some of my summer stuff, which might go well. Maybe these darker colors.
When you start, the blank headband can be very intimidating. I find that putting down some moss and some of the statement pieces, in this case the mushrooms, can help with establishing your composition. Unfortunately, even though I bought my supplies at the height of autumn decor season, the only fake plants I could find that were somewhat close to autumn colors were all red. So to balance out the colors a little bit, I used these oversized autumn leaves as sort of a backdrop, cutting them in half and gluing them to the back edge of the headband. Thus, they gave a bit more variety to the colors without ruining the scale of things with how freakishly bigger they are compared to the mushrooms and the rest of the leaves. I also made an effort to lace all this orange and red with some greens here and there, as I think that's still a color found in autumn forests. I mean, the reason I filmed this video so late in the season is that I was waiting for my local forest to finally turn orange and red, and it never did. Those trees were like green or nothing and just dropped their leaves instead. Like these long leafy vines, so at the end I added them hanging down the sides of the face as well as all around the edges of the crown, so when you wear it, it kind of weaves into your hair. With that, we're done. This was such a fun project to make, and I am so glad nothing went wrong this time.